I used Wacom Intuos and Cintiq tablets and styluses for over a decade when I worked in design, and I loved them. I loved them. Then, Apple introduced the iPad Pro, and the Pencil along with it. No digitizer, no air gap, no parallax, no reticule, and it instantly made every other stylus seem like something from the dark ages. Yeah, of course, it wasn't perfect. It was slick and circular, had no way to quickly change tools. Its cap was easy to lose, so easy, and its fast charging solution just looked, well, rude. Now, Apple has introduced an all-new iPad Pro and the number 2 Pencil. And no, I'm never going to stop calling it that. And it's matte and flattened-ish and has a tool changer. The cap is gone and the charging solution is, well, let's just get into it. I'm Rene Ritchie. Welcome back to Vector. On this show, I'm going to review the Apple Pencil using the Apple Pencil. Let's do it. Now, a few things haven't changed. The tip is still the tip, as is the pressure-sensitive technology inside it. That's right, unlike Apple Watch, iPhone, and the Mac trackpad, it's the Pencil that registers both the force and the angle, and transmits all of that data wirelessly to the iPad. That's where the touch layer, ProMotion refresh rate, predictive tracking, and palm rejection come in. All incredibly impressive, but all essentially the same as last year's iPad Pro. Apple did a lot of materials and coding work to get it to feel as good as it does, but it's still plastic on glass, and the number 2 Pencil does nothing to change that. The basic shape is also the same. The Pencil is a pencil, which is great for people like me who have always used and loved pencils. And it's still white. No silver, no space gray, and certainly no gold. Everything else, though, that's all new. So new, the second generation Pencil doesn't work with the previous generation iPad, and the first generation Pencil doesn't work with the new iPad. It's a bummer, especially because the Pencil costs $30 more than the old Pencil thanks to all the new tech inside it, shrunk down now, denser, I've heard, than even the AirPods. And as seems increasingly the case, the future comes at the expense of the past. The finish isn't glossy anymore, it's matte now. And while I never found the old Pencil overly slick, the new one just feels better and more tactile, less plastic and more, chalky. There's no lightning connector on the back anymore, and that means there's no cap to cover it, to take off and put on, or to lose in between. So, damn, always. Now the end is just an end. Except for the branding. I like the Apple logo, heart the Apple logo. The word pencil though, that's just a little much. So how does it charge now? Inductively, just like the Apple Watch and iPhones 8 and later. Bring it near the right edge of the new iPad Pro and it gets sucked precisely into place like it was hit by an imperial tractor beam. That's thanks to ferrite magnets and Hallback arrays, which is a fancy way of saying cleverly shaped magnetic fields. It always attaches with a satisfying thunk, like AirPods, and once it's in place, it'll just charge. And Apple will just manage it so it always stays charged and ready for you to use it. It also pairs that way, so while still one iPad, one pencil, you can switch iPads and pencils anytime by just slapping one on the side of the other. If you somehow deplete your pencil's charge and you find yourself on empty at a coffee shop or in a plane or wherever, it'll still fast charge so you can get back up and penciling in just a few minutes. And if you forget to put your Apple Pencil back on your iPad and just leave it lying around, it'll detect it's not being used and go into an ultra low power mode to keep as much charge as it can for as long as it can. But honestly, because you stick it back on the iPad anytime you're not using it and it charges anytime you do that, it's pretty much never without charge. After a few days, you kind of forget that it even has to charge. Instead of being completely round, Apple flattened one of the edges so it sits better on the side of the iPad. As a side effect, it makes it feel more pencil-like when you hold it and use it. And I love that a lot, so much that I hope Apple goes full on pencil and flattens all the other sides next time. Just above the tip is a new capacitive touch area. Double tap on it and you can switch between tools. The default is draw and erase in Notes. It's faster than spinning the pencil around and erasing with the back if that is something you are used to doing. You can switch the double tap to alternating between the current and previous tools instead, or to bring up the palette. Developers can also make it do almost anything that makes sense in their apps. Is the new pencil any better or is it just different? Trick question. In almost every way that is different, it's different in ways that make it better. $30 more is still $30 more, but for that, it grips better, it switches. There's no more cap to lose or convenient if awkward charging solution. Instead, it charges in a way that makes you forget it even needs to charge. It makes the all-purpose Apple Pencil more Apple and more pencil. At least that's what I think. And now I'd love to hear what you think. Hit like, hit subscribe, and then let me know in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to get your Vector pins, your Vector stickers, and your Vector t-shirts just in time for the holidays. Thank you so much for watching.